Today we're reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 11, text number 45. I'll repeat the first line and please repeat. Adurishta purvam hishitosmi drishtva ayena cha prayahitam manome. It's okay if you mess up, just go for it. Let's go for it. Try your best and Krishna will help us. Vayena cha prayahitam manome Hadeva me tosaya deva rupam Prasida devesha jagannivasha Adrishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva Bhavena cha pravyahitam manome Tadeva me dosaya deva rupam.
Tadeva me dosaya deva rupam.
Prasida devesha jagannivasha.
Prasida devesha jagannivasha.
Adrishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva.
Adrishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva.
Vayena cha pravyahita mano me.
Vayena cha pravyahita mano me.
Tadeva me dosaya deva rupam.
Tadeva me dosaya deva rupam.
Prasida devesha jagannivasha.
Prasida devesha jagannivasha.
Redneck chant Sanskrit. So, anyone else want to try, please?
Adrishta purvam rishitasmi drishtva.
Adrishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva.
Bhayena cha pravyatitam mano me.
Vayena cha pravyahitam mano me.
Tad eva me darshaya deva rupam.
Tadeva me dosaya deva rupam.
Prasida devesa jagannivasa.
Prasida devesha jagannivasa. Anyone else, please? Adrishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva. Vayena cha pravyahitam mano me. Tadeva me dosaya deva rupam. Prasida devesha jagannivasa. Word for word translation, please repeat. Adrishta purvam.
Adrishta purvam.
Never seen before.
Never seen before.
Rishita.
Rishita.
Gladdened.
Gladdened.
Ashmi.
Ashmi.
I am.
I am.
Dvishtva.
Dvishtva.
By seeing.
By seeing.
Vayena.
Vayena.
Out of fear.
Out of fear.
Cha.
Cha.
Also.
Also.
Prabhyahitam.
Prabhyahitam.
Perturbed.
Perturbed.
Mana.
Mana.
Mind.
Mind.
Me.
Me.
My.
My.
Ta.
Ta.
That.
That.
Eva.
Eva.
Certainly.
Certainly.
May. Unto me.
Unto me.
Darsaya.
Darsaya.
Show.
Show.
Deva.
Deva.
O Lord.
O Lord.
Rupam.
Rupam.
The form.
The form.
Prasida.
Prasida.
Just be gracious.
Just be gracious.
Deva Isha.
Deva Isha.
O Lord of Lords.
O Lord of Lords.
Jagat Nivasha.
Jagannivasha.
O refuge of the universe.
O refuge of the universe.
I'll repeat. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am glad. But at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me. And reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead. O Lord of Lords. O abode of the universe. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend. And as a dear friend, he is gladdened by his friend's opulence. Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing that universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus his mind is disturbed out of fear. although he had no reason to fear. Arjuna therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayan form, because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary, as the material world is temporary. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with 4 hands as Narayan. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and each of them, Krishna is present by his plenary manifestation in different names. Thus, Arjuna desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayan is 4-handed, but the 4 hands hold different arrangements of symbols: conch shell, mace, lotus, and disc. According to the different hands these 4 things are held in, the Narayans are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna requests to see his 4-handed feature. I just want to let y'all know a little secret. To us, this is like an opening for the public. You know, the real nectar is in the morning. We have these kirtans that just blow the windows off, and everyone's dancing in ecstasy. We're having these moments of ecstatic bliss having kirtan. So when we have these Sunday feast classes, we're a little bit more reserved. So our kirtan may be a little reserved. But every morning at 4 o'clock, they have kirtan, Mangalarti, and then greeting of the deities. The deities are dressed new every day. And then we have Srimad Bhagavatam class. So for us, this is a good opportunity to greet the pilgrims who come to see Sri Radharakanta. So thank you all. It really is our benefit that you come, because we get the chance to serve you. We're simply living here humbly, serving the deities. We have no special qualification. But somehow or another, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we poor, uneducated Western hillbillies have stumbled upon the mercy of the universal reality of Krishna. So here we're reading a very actually advanced knowledge about God. People ask about God all the time. God, everything's God, right? Everyone's always got some God thing going all the time. Some mention of God, whether they're decrying the existence of God or, you know, this form of God they believe that. But no one has very much information about God. Here, we're seeing Arjuna not only knows there is a God, but he said, just give me one of those forms. Any of those forms will be God. He didn't say, you've got to do this form or that form or this form. He just said, give me a Narayan form. That's cool right now, because I'm overwhelmed by this material form. The material form, what's it called? The Virat Rupa?
That's the universal form.
Yes, the universal form. This material form, Virat Rupa, is a material form. It's Krishna. Krishna makes the form. It's not different to Krishna, but it's a material form. It goes when the universe dissolves, that Virat Rupa goes with it. So, why did Arjuna ask to see this form? Because Arjuna, he was perfect in his role. His role was to authenticate Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. That's his job. His job is to let everyone know Krishna's God. So he understood there's going to be some people, they're just going to think, oh, we're friends, you and I. So I'm going to say something nice about you. Yes, my friend is God. It's like, well, you would say that because he's your friend. Right? So what does Arjuna say? Arjuna said, let me set this straight, okay? Krishna, show me your universal form. I've never seen it, and I would like to just see it. And so, understanding that by doing so, the doubters and the naysayers would become convinced that Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. Now this form, if you read this chapter of the universal form, it's very difficult to describe. But Sanjaya, who's describing this universal form to Dhritarashtra on the battlefield, Sanjaya is seeing transcendental television, and so he's saying this form is like seeing thousands of suns at one time. The brightness illuminating it. So just one way to get a visual. This universal form is so bright, it's like thousands of suns coming at one time. You can imagine how bright that would be. That's the brilliance of this universal form. But in this universal form, Krishna is showing everything. See, a lot of people don't know that the demigods, they're all expansive, energetic expansions of Krishna. So if one's worshiping the demigods, you're actually, in essence, you're kind of misunderstanding where they're getting their potency from. Because Krishna's giving these demigods, all of these different demigods are energetic expansions. They come, and when the creation is created, Krishna gives them all these different roles to play. But Krishna is existing before the creation. These demigods are not. You don't go to the spiritual world and worship Durga and Ganesh like that. Even though they have some heavenly regions, some heavenly planets, and they're very connected with Krishna, not minimizing the demigods. They're great souls who have given so much service to Krishna. But the point being is that they're just manifestations of Krishna's Shakti. Just like we're manifestations of Krishna's Shakti. Everyone here is getting their potency from Krishna. So, when Lord Chaitanya said one should feel oneself lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, in such a state of mind one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. How can one do that? Because we're always having to stand up for ourselves, right? They have this, in America, they have this Me Too movement now where women are having to stand up for their rights. They've been abused for so long. And so they have to, I am tired of it. I'm standing up for myself, right? So how can we at the same time stand up for ourselves and be humble? Because when you're humble, people will take advantage of you. Huh? So how can one be feeling oneself lower than the straw on the street, more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and at the same time not be taken advantage of? This is real knowledge to understand that true humility means to understand I'm not the doer. I'm not the doer. Krishna actually is what gives me the ability. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in the same chapter, Universal Form, I am the ability in man. If you know that, if you know, oh, I have some great idea, if you start thinking, I'm so smart. It's like David, his father made these incredible tools, and he's brought them here to offer. I know some people might think it's like one of those pipe bombs or something, but this is a tool that the devotee has made, and he's offering to Krishna because he's giving 10% of all the royalties. The Exxon, I think, is it Exxon? Chevron. Yeah, don't want to get mixed up. Chevron is paying so much for these tools, and so 10% is going to the deities. So in essence, he's showing the deities his donation. So this is his donation to Krishna. So he may think, I've done this. This person has done this. This person has done this. But ultimately, when you go back and see this universal form, it explains everything was there. All the demigods are there. All the planetary systems are there. Everything is already there. So we, little tiny expansive souls, we have a little tiny potency. Prabhupada said, like, he always called Sputniks. He called satellites Sputniks. He said, we can put little Sputniks in the sky. Because the Russians originally had this thing they called Sputniks. And so Prabhupada said, we can put little Sputniks in the sky. But Krishna can put universes. So we have a little shot. But Krishna says, I'm the ability in man. That's how you can be humble. You may be standing here. You may be, being so arrogant and proud. If you're doing it for Krishna, then that's not arrogant. That's not proud. That's devotional service. That's humility. Because real humility means to know I'm not the doer. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord. It's all about understanding who is the actual reservoir of everything. Where's everything coming from? It's coming from Krishna. So Arjuna wanted to show that Krishna was the supreme. And so he was a friend. And so Krishna liked Arjuna. They're friends. They're good friends. They hang out together all the time. and so this is Arjuna's role with Krishna, and he's not, he's not thinking of God. He's not thinking Krishna's God. But when he saw this universal form, he's like, he couldn't handle it. It was too much. He's like, Krishna, I can't take it. I can't take it. Take that form back. Take it. I got it. I got it. I see what I needed to see. Thanks. Really, that's his mood. He's like, I can't handle it anymore. I need to see that form that I can relate to. So that's Krishna consciousness. When Prabhupada came to America, they asked him, why don't you name this society the International Society for God Consciousness? Prabhupada said, no. It's the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. They said, why are you coming? There's so many religions here. He said, I've come to teach you what you forgot. No one knows who God is. No one knows who Krishna is. Even in India, it was becoming obscured more and more. There was so much demigod worship. You go, there's so much Kali worship, animal slaughter, things were coming. Now in India, you go, ISKCON is all over India now. I don't know when the last time y'all were in India, but I'm telling you, ISKCON is a big deal in India now. I was at an airline one time and I had some problem with some baggage overweight or something, and they were charging me a bunch of money, and this boy comes up to me and said, I was wearing a dhoti, my head shaking. He said, are you ISKCON? I said, yeah. He said, oh, wait a minute. He comes back. Yeah, you don't pay. I said, thanks a lot. He said, my brother's ISKCON. So we stopped at some custom place. The guy was like, getting everything. The guy comes up to me. I go, no, you don't. You ISKCON. You go. I'm like, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It's like Prabhupada has started, again, revived this culture. In India also, it's not just in America. It's all over the world. It's an amazing phenomenon, you have to admit, to be living now in these times. Because this Hare Krishna movement is, I'm going to say it in a very simple way, it's the real deal. This is it. This is the real deal. And we're not easily cheated. I'm slick, I know when I go to the bus station, the guy wants $10 for a haircut. He's not going to get a haircut. I've had people try to swindle me my whole life. It's hard to swindle me, right? But I'm convinced Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada has given us the only bona fide opportunity to get out in Kali Yuga. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement is the movement of the soul to actually be able to get out of this birth and death. The demigods can't get out of birth and death. The demigods are stuck. They're enjoying too much. They're in a bad way. They regret it. Why did I shoot for heaven? I should have stayed in Varsa and worshiped Krishna. I want to get back. I got to get back to the Sankirtan movement. That's what they're wanting. They're praying like that. They're praying in the Bhagavatam, their prayers. Why was I so foolish? When I was in Varsa, I was right there on the bank of the Ganga, and I was doing austerities to come to this Pitraloka or some heavenly region. Why? What was I thinking? And then they see Lord Chaitanya's movement here, and they see these ordinary conditioned souls, all irks and likes, taking to this philosophy and going back home, not just getting out of karma, not just getting good karma, not just becoming rich, going back to the spiritual world. So Arjuna now has reached a point where he's saying, please reveal your form as a personality of Godhead. So that's what we worship. We worship Krishna. This is the Hare Krishna movement. They call us Hare Krishnas. Why? Because we chant Hare Krishna. When they hear us chanting on the street, they're hearing Hare Krishna. They're hearing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Get a job, you won't. Hare Rama. So we're chanting. So they named us the Hare Krishnas. That's just simple. Who are we? We are Vaishnavas. We all know this. Vaishnava means Vishnu. But we are really, who are we absorbed in by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada? The first book I ever found was a Krishna book. And it's a stories about Krishna's Leela on the planet 5,000 years ago. I didn't even know there was a Hare Krishna movement, just to show you all an example. I'm a simple country boy going to college somewhere and I find some Krishna book. And I'm reading. I had no idea there was a Hare Krishna movement. No idea. I thought sweetmeats were some Jewish food. It was really, I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. And I'm reading this book and I just got so attracted to this book, this Krishna book. I could smell it. I could feel it. There was something about it. I just couldn't quit reading. I'd take it with me everywhere. And people were, they started saying, what's he doing? He's just reading that book all the time, And I just kept reading and reading and reading. And I came to New Orleans and somebody said, hey, there's a Hare Krishna temple here. I said, what? Yeah, there's a Hare Krishna temple. Where that book you're reading, they worship that person. I said, worship him? Yeah. I had no idea they worship Krishna. It's so attractive to hear. So Prabhupada tricked me. I had no desire to surrender my life to God. It's like I wanted to enjoy my senses. Just like sometimes if the child comes to you and he's eating some dirt, right? You say, wait. And you bring him some nice sandesh. Here, you eat this. So he eats the sandesh. Right? So in the same way, we're coming to God. We don't know why we're coming to God. We're just coming. Why? Because it's like I'm burned out in the material world. We have all the wealth everyone's looking for. We had sense gratification. We had all the things people are looking for in the material world. And what happened? Just like Bilbamangala Thakur, what did he say? I was simply burned out. Simply devastated by sense gratification. Simply suffering, morose. Yeah? So then we start reading about Krishna and we start coming alive. I can remember early in the morning, we get up at 4 o'clock in the temple in New Orleans. You'd get up and we would chant Hare Krishna and kirtan and prasadam, and then I would be sitting there and my body would be tingling, literally physically tingling. I thought, what is this? It's like I could physically becoming purified, and you just keep coming and coming, and then you start thinking, I've got to get out of here. I'm gonna never have a life. I'm going to end up just being in the temple all the time. What about my girlfriends and my family and my jobs and all of this stuff? You start thinking, what am I doing? And then all of a sudden you realize it's like prophets, it's like the mafia. When you join the mafia and you tell them, I don't want to be in the mafia anymore, I'm tired, and they say, I'm sorry, we can't let you out, you know too much. Huh? We discovered we were looking for a piece of broken glass. We found the most valuable jewel. We found out, we really discovered who God was. Who is the absolute truth. So then, it was just a matter of continuing to stay around people we had made relationships with. The most important thing in spiritual life is association. Lord Chaitanya said, it's better to be in a cage of fire than to be out of the association of devotees. That's Lord Chaitanya said. So that's how important devotee association. So you can have congregation, you can chant in your homes, you can bring together many times, but the whole central focus is Prabhupada books, this Sankirtan movement. Everyone should take part in some way. You can have kirtan in your homes, you can offer your prasad, you bhoga to Krishna and have prasad and distribute prasad. And this way, you can be part of Lord Chaitanya. But it says, if you don't take part, you're like an animal that's been captured and released, and then you get captured again. You've taken birth in Bardbars. Better yet, we've taken birth in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. So we have to do this. We have to do this. We have to know deep within our hearts, this sincere spiritual process is the most wonderful benediction. Srila Japataka Maharaj is one of our dear benefactors that's come so many times to our project here and helped us in so many ways. He said it's like, during Lord Chaitanya's Leela, it's like being in a supermarket. Everything's on sale, 90% off. You fill up your basket, right? 2 of everything. Throw them in the basket. Don't think about it. Just put it in. It's all on sale. Lord Chaitanya's mercy is like that. It's open. It's free. There's no prerequisite. When Krishna says, Sarvadamam parijjaga mam ekam saranam bhaja, abandon all and surrender to me, then I shall protect you. Lord Chaitanya says, help me distribute this love of God. I've plundered it. I've broken open the storehouse. I've broken the lock. It's all here for free for the taking. So this Sankirtan movement Prabhupada has brought, and he has given us, and he himself instituted it. The miracle is all his books. You all know his books are there. They're online now. You can find everywhere. Prabhupada's books are incredible work, a feat beyond any academic possibility. If you read Prabhupada's books from beginning to end, you know Prabhupada's Shakti. He's empowered. No other human being could write these books. He's reading. He's sitting talking about the planetary system, the cosmology of the universe. He's knowing all of the different planetary systems, the little details about. It's like even the greatest, astronomer couldn't remember these things. And Prabhupada, he's got a simple degree in English. And he's knowing everything about the cosmology of the universe. And who the different deities are. All the heavenly regions, the lower planetary systems, the subterranean planetary systems, every little detail. He knows, and he's writing. All of these books are there. It's the most incredible. It's a miracle. Anyone who sees and studies Prabhupada's book, you realize he has to be coming from God. No one else could do this. No one else could have that academic ability. It's just impossible. So when you read, you wonder, well, why another Hindu movement, right? What about Maharishi or this Ishi or this yogi, right? There's a difference. Prabhupada wrote, it's called Bhagavad Gita as it is. What's that mean? It means Prabhupada didn't change everything. Prabhupada had one desire, to please Krishna. Once Prabhupada had an invitation. He was very, very late in his life, and his body was basically finished. And he had an invitation to go to Kurukshetra. They were having some big gathering of all the sages there. And everybody said, no, Prabhupada, it's too hot. Your body's too old. Prabhupada said, they thought about it a while. He said, we will go. So it's a 2-hour drive from Delhi, I think, to Kurukshetra. So he drives. He gets there, and there's all these, you know how the yogis are in India. They all have the long hair and their beards, and they all know Prabhupada's there. They don't want Prabhupada to talk because they know Prabhupada's not going to be, go along with their, Gandhian kind of peace, love stuff. And so Prabhupada's on the stage. And so they're kind of talk, and they're not letting Prabhupada talk. Prabhupada's just being, waiting. Finally, he just stands up without any invitation, stands up and says, why are you talking? But you're not mentioning Krishna. This Kurukshetra, Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita here. You're not once mentioning Krishna. And he's like, everybody's kind of like, Prabhupada just, and he was in Hindi, so the devotees didn't know everything he was saying. This is in Shruti Kirti's diary, but they got the gist. Sarvadamam parijjaga, mam ekam saranam bhaja, you rascals. And it's like, and so Prabhupada, and everybody just kind of like, Prabhupada had just blown them off, just brought it to the point. You're trying to cheat. You're trying to take what's Krishna's and claim it as your own. As you're some big yogi. What about the supreme absolute truth who's spoken in Bhagavad Gita on this Kurukshetra? So then as soon as Prabhupada finished, everybody, just similarly Prabhupada, as they were leaving, they got in their cars and a big hurricane came. Blew the whole mess away. Prabhupada, as soon as he left, the Kirti said the big typhoon come. You know how they do in India, just blew up, and just blew all that everything away. So Prabhupada was unique. He didn't just come to get flattered. He didn't just come to flatter you. When he was here, he visited here in 1975. He walked. This is a Tirtha. Srila Prabhupada walked here on this holy Dham. So you're also walking on the holy Dham where Srila Prabhupada walked. Your life is perfected. If you take advantage of this Krishna consciousness movement, you don't have to take birth again. So we all ask everyone, please, kindly take advantage. Chant Hare Krishna, take some Nat Prasadam. Any questions or comments? Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you for a very nice class.